all of you. Welcome all of you again. This is our 17th lecture and I hope that you have celebrated the Ganpati festival vacations and you have celebrated vacations safely and you have joining the online lectures healthily. See, as this is our 17th lecture, I expect that you have seen or visited my earlier lectures, especially lecture number 16, before watching this lecture. Why? See, learning anything is a step-by-step process, right? See, so though you have enjoyed Ganpati vacations, but I hope that you have practiced accountancy problems. Okay? See, this is just suggested for a better understanding. Now, as usual, let's move to the most interesting thing. In my last lecture, I had asked the quiz that if insurance is paid for 20 months is given in the trial balance, then how the insurance of 8 months is recorded or where the insurance of 8 months is recorded. And the four options were given like this. Is it recorded to the trading account debit side and to the liability? Or is it deducted from the profit and loss account debit side and recorded to the liability? Or is it deducted from the trading account debit side and recorded to the asset side? Or is it deducted from the profit and loss account debit side and recorded to the asset side? See, the correct option is option D. Why? The insurance paid for 8 months is for the time being an asset. Okay, because the books close on 31st of March of every year. Okay, so for the time being, the insurance paid for 8 months is an asset, and that much of amount must be deducted from that insurance which is recorded in the profit and loss account debit side. So the answer is option D. It should be deducted from the profit and loss account debit side and should be recorded at an asset. C. There is no any correct answer given by anybody. Okay, but I hope that you are studying bookkeeping and accountancy, and I expect that you will give the correct answer for this quiz. We are learning bookkeeping and accountancy standard 12, and we are learning lesson number 1, that is introduction to partnership and partnership final accounts. Okay, we have covered these much of competency statements, and this among the lesson introduction to partnership, we have completed these competency statements which has been stated as per the book. Okay, and now we are on how to find out financial results of the business. That is, the business is partnership business. Currently we are learning this topic. Okay, see, there are two methods of maintaining capital accounts of the partners, either by fixed capital method or by fluctuating capital method. If the business is maintaining by the fixed capital method, then two books of accounts are required to be prepared, that is capital account and current account. And if the business is following fluctuating capital method, then all the entries regarding capital and other entries are recorded in a single account, that is capital account. Okay, all entries are comprehended here only. See, this along with this practical problem, we are going to maintain the partners accounts by following this method. Okay, we are not going to incorporate it in the balance sheet liability side. Okay, why? Because in your next lectures, in your next lessons, we are going to learn in detail about this. So let's start to do the practice of maintaining it in the either in the fixed capital method by following fixed capital method or by following fluctuating capital method. Okay, see what we learned in our last lecture: partnership final accounts practical problems. Problem number 3, that was of Reena and Aarti. Okay, which was given on page number 56 to 57. Now what we are going today? Today we are going to see practical problem number 4, that is of Meera and Madhav. Okay, which is given on page number 57. See, these are the adjustments which I always recommend that must be by heart to you. Okay, adjustments regarding bad debts, RDD, and discount and reserve for discount on debtors and creditors. Okay, this format, as well as other adjustments like adjustments regarding bills receivable and bills payable, bad debts, RDD, and discount on and reserve for discount on debtors and creditors. Okay, all these adjustments must be by heart to you. Okay, because there are always adjustments regarding like this. Now let's start to solve practical problem number 4. See, as usual, these steps you have to follow. Okay, you have to prepare trading and profit and loss account. Then you have to carry the gross profit to the profit and loss account. Then you have to calculate the net profit, and you have to distribute the net profit or loss to the partners. Then you have to create the partners capital account and carry the balance to the balance sheet, and then you have to tally the balance sheet. Now I will just dictate you for recording of the items given in the trial balance. Okay, first of all, stock which is given on 1st April 2018, as the balance sheet closes on 31st March 2019, so it is a opening stock which should be recorded at the trading account debit side. Then debtors, assets, bills receivable, assets, purchases, trading account debit side, returns. See, here only returns are given. If the purchases are given on the debit side and returns are given, those must be sales return. Okay, because sales are recorded on the credit side and such returns are given on the debit side, then it must be opposite to purchases, means those are sales return. Then carriage inward, trading account debit side, carriage outward, profit and loss account debit, motor vehicle, asset, general expenses, profit and loss account debit, export duty, profit and loss account debit. Why? Export duty means duty which has been paid while exporting the ready good or the ready stock, and when the ready stock is exported, means it is before selling it or while selling it, so it will go to the profit and loss account debit side. Advertisement. See, advertisement for 3 years from 1st October 2018. First of all, it will go to the profit and loss account debit side, and there would be hidden adjustment. Why hidden adjustment? See, the advertisement expenses of rupees 4,800 which has been given, which are due for 3 years. Okay, and out of that, advertisement expenses from 1st October 2018 up to 31st March 2018-19 in this current year are due. Okay, out of these 4,800 means remaining outstanding expenses will be treated as asset for the time being. Okay, till the closing of this financial year. Okay, so there is an adjustment. Then printing and stationery, profit and loss account debit, drawings, Mira and Mother, partners capital account debit, both of them. Leasehold premises, asset. Okay, what is this leasehold premises or leasehold property? See, leasehold property, as the name suggests, leasehold means the ownership of this land on which the property is built is leased or given on lease for a certain number of periods or certain number of years to the tenant. Now he will be called as owner. The lease period varies from 30, okay, from 30 years to 99 years. This lease period varies from 30 years to 99 years, which can also be extended after paying the rent again once the lease period is over. Okay, this property can also be written off as the other properties under fixed assets are depreciated. The value of such properties also reduces closer to the end of the lease period. Always remember this. The value of these properties also reduces closer to the end of this lease period, means that much of with proportion with the amount of years. Okay. Then cash at bank asset, furniture asset. Then let's go to the credit balance. Bank code of liability, bills payable, liability, creditors, liability, sales, trading account credit side, outstanding rent, liability, unpaid wages, liability, Mira and Madhav capital, partners capital account credit side because it is given on the credit side. Purchase return. See, purchase return will be deducted from purchases. Here purchase what is given properly. Okay, so we can easily understand this is purchase return. But if it is not given in this case, only returns is given, then how to understand? See, this is as it comes on the debit side and sales comes under the credit side, means these are the sales returns of sales. Somebody has returned the goods which we had sold of amounting rupees 3,25,000. Okay. Now let's move to the adjustments. Closing stock is valued at rupees 32,000. How it should be recorded? Trading account, credit side and asset. Then there is no any recording or mark against the trial balance items. Then provide provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000. What do we usually do for this adjustment? We do record it as, we do add it to the profit and loss account debit side in the as per the formula. And the second recording as we deduct it from the sundry debtors in the asset side. But if you know, where do we add profit and loss account debit side to the bad debts? But if you know, there are no bad debts given here in this trial balance. So what should be done? Don't worry. Simply you have to record as provision for doubtful debts. Provide provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000 in the profit and loss account debit side instead of adding to anything. Okay. Next, create reserve for discount on debtors at 3%. Okay. Again, what do we usually do? We add this reserve for discount on debtors to the bad debts in the profit and loss account debit side as per the formula, because these are the new reserve. But here, as the bad debts are not given, you have to simply record or mention the reserve for discount on debtors at 3% in the profit and loss account debit side without adding to bad debts. Okay. And that much of amount should be deducted from the sundry debtors at the asset side. Okay. But now, what is my regular, what I have already told you as per the formats which I always show you at the start of the lectures. See, this reserve for discount on debtors, the percentage reserve for discount on debtors must be calculated after calculating the other adjustment on the debtors. Okay, this should be done after doing all the other adjustments on the debtors. But what is the basic difference between these two? See, this is what provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000 means among the debtors. See how many debtors are there. The debtors amounting rupees 80,500. Among these 80,500, we assume that we are doubtful for the debts for the customers amounting rupees 2,000. The value of the sales we are doubtful that this much of amount of debts will not be received, will not be gained by us by this business. Okay, so this is the provision we are making against the debtors. Okay, those which are we have sold on credit. Against the credit sales, this much of amount of debtors will not come true. Okay, so this we are making the provision for this much of amount. And after that, suppose the amount of bill of some customer is rupees 11,536. Just assume the amount of bill of one customer is rupees 11,536. And if he asks for us to do the round off, okay, and he requests that he is not able to pay the rupees 36, and he is asking us to round off the round off his bill at rupees 11,500. Okay, so what is this? Such kind of people, okay, such kind of debtors whom we have sold on credit may turn up like this. Those who will ask for additional discount. Okay, so this additional discount will amount at 3%. Okay, we are reserving that such discount to debtors as 3% on the total debtors. Which total debtors? The total debtors amount which has been calculated after doing all the adjustments. All the adjustments like provision for doubtful debts, new bad debts. Okay, like this. Okay, if you have forgotten any sales, recording any sales like that, then we have to do the adjustment of this percentage reserve for discount on debtors on the remaining amount. Okay, then for this we have to make one mark against debtors for adjustment number 2 and one mark against debtor for adjustment number 3. Then adjustment number 4. Value of leasehold premises on 31st March 2019 is rupees 1 lakh. Means the closing date of the financial of this business, the leasehold premises were valuing of rupees 1 lakh, and at the start of this business at the start of the financial year, the value of the leasehold premises was rupees 1,10,000. What does this mean? The value of the leasehold premises has been reduced. Okay, has been reduced and has come down to rupees 1 lakh. Okay, see, as I told you, these leasehold properties can be written off as the other properties under the fixed assets, as those are depreciated. See, the value of such properties also reduces closer to the end of the lease period. So, at the start of the financial year, the leasehold value of the leasehold premises was rupees 1,10,000 and it came to rupees 1 lakh at the end of the financial year. It means its value has been reduced at by rupees 10,000 because the difference is rupees 10,000. Means this 10,000 has rupees, it has been written off. Okay, so this return off has been recorded at the profit and loss account debit side, and that much of return off value is deducted from the that asset, leasehold premises asset. Okay, so there will be two dots marking against leasehold premises. Then outstanding expenses printing and stationery rupees 500. Okay, so against printing and stationery 2 marks because we have to record it to the profit and loss account debit side and to the liability. Now let's start to solve the problem. After reading all the entries and adjustment in the trial balance, we'll start to prepare trading account first. Okay, then we'll carry the gross profit to the profit and loss account and we'll calculate the net profit and we'll distribute this net profit to the partners in the partners capital account. Then we'll carry the remaining balances of partners and to the balance sheet and we'll tally the balance sheet. Now let's start to solve the problem. In the books of Messrs. Meera and Madhav, trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2019. Okay, now so as to ease the solving, I have already recorded the items from trial balance, okay, in the trading account, profit and loss account and in the partners capital account as well as in the balance sheet. Okay, then also I will dictate you. Let's start. Debit balance, opening stock, that is stock given on 1st April 2018 amounting to rupees 25,000, trading account debit side. To opening stock rupees 25,000, trading account debit side. Debtors asset side rupees 80,500. Debtors balance sheet, debtors asset rupees 80,500. Bills receivable asset rupees 10,000. Bills receivable asset rupees 10,000. Purchases trading account debit side rupees 2,08,500. Purchases trading account debit side rupees 2,08,500. Then returns, that is sales return rupees 1,000, deduct from sales, less sales return rupees 1,000 in the trading account credit side. Then carriage inward trading account debit side rupees 3,000, carriage inward rupees 3,000. Carriage outward profit and loss account debit side rupees 4,500. Carriage outward, this is profit and loss account debit side rupees 4,500. Then motor vehicle asset rupees 55,000. Balance sheet asset side motor vehicle rupees 55,000 as there is no any adjustment. Then general expenses profit and loss account debit side rupees 1,800. Profit and loss account debit side general expenses rupees 1,800. Then export duty profit and loss account debit side 900 rupees. Export duty profit and loss account debit side rupees 900. Then advertisement expenses profit and loss account debit side as there is an adjustment, okay, rupees 4,800 will come to the inner column in the profit and loss account debit side under advertisement. Okay, so profit and loss account debit side to advertisement rupees 4,800. Now let's see how to calculate the amount which is prepaid advertisement expenses and how much of amount of advertisement expenses are actually due for this year. Okay, for that I have already written working note. Let's see how I have written it. Working notes. Working note number 1, calculation of prepaid advertisement expenses. See, the advertisement expenses for the 3 years has been paid rupees 4,800. Okay, that we have started the contract with that advertisement agency from 1st October 2018. Okay, so advertisement expenses for 3 years are rupees 4,800. So if the advertisement expenses for the 3 years are 4,800, then advertisement expenses for 1 year is equal to rupees 4,800 divided by 3 years, that is equal to rupees 1,600 per year. Okay, now advertisement expenses due for current year, that is from 1st October 2018 to 31st March 2019. Okay, means for 6 months period only in this year, due for this year is equal to, see, 1,600 rupees are for 1 year. Okay, that is advertisement expense for 1 year is equal to 1,600. Then for 6 months, that is 1,600 divided by 2 is equal to 800. So rupees 800 are actually the advertisement expenses which are due for current year only. But how many advertisement expenses has been paid? How much? Rupees 4,800. So how much out of that are prepaid? Simple. See, the prepaid advertisement expenses for remaining period is equal to rupees 4,800 which has been paid minus rupees 800 which are due for this year. So remaining amount, that is rupees 4,000, are prepaid advertisement expense, that is an asset, current asset. Okay, so for this advertisement expenses, as there is an hidden adjustment. Okay, so profit and loss account debit side, advertisement expenses rupees 4,800 less prepaid advertisement expenses as per working note number 1, 4,000 rupees as we have calculated. So rupees 800 are the only advertisement expenses which are due for this year. Okay, then this 4,000 rupees 4,000 which are prepaid advertisement expenses, we have to record at the balance sheet asset side. Okay, as prepaid this is balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet asset side, prepaid advertisement expenses as per working note number 1 are rupees 4,000. Okay, next, then printing and stationery, profit and loss account debit side rupees 1,200, printing and stationery, rupees 1,200. Okay, as it will come in the inner side because there is an adjustment against printing and stationery. Then drawings of Meera and Madhav will be recorded to the partner's capital account debit side. See, with this problem we are going to make separate partner's capital or current account. Okay, because it would be required for solving the problems in the next lessons. Okay, so this is a good profit, good habit. Okay, so partner's capital account we have maintained, and the drawings would be recorded to the debit side of partner's capital account. So partner's capital account drawings, in the Meera's column drawings of rupees 3,500 and in Madhav's column drawings rupees 2,000. Okay, that we have recorded to the debit side of partner's capital account. Then leasehold premises amounting rupees 1,10,000 at asset side, balance sheet asset side, rupees leasehold premises rupees 1,10,000, as there is an adjustment, so we will record it in the inner column. Then cash at bank asset rupees 45,000, cash at bank current asset rupees 45,000, and furniture asset fixed asset rupees 8,300, furniture rupees 8,300. Now let's move to the items in the credit side of the trial balance. First it is bank overdraft rupees 5,000 and bills payable rupees 12,500. Let's see. Balance sheet asset liability, bank overdraft rupees 5,000 and bills payable rupees 12,500. Then creditors rupees 68,000, creditors balance sheet liability side, creditors rupees 68,000. Okay, then next is sales will be recorded to the trading account credit side rupees 3,25,000, trading account credit side 3,25,000, by sales rupees 3,25,000. Okay, as we have already recorded sales return, So we'll close this and we'll bring the final amount to the outer column. That is 3,25,000 were the sales and sales return were rupees 1,000. So the total sales are rupees 3,24,000. Okay, so we have closed it. Then outstanding rent will go to the liability rupees 2,000 and unpaid wages will also go to the liability rupees 1,500. Liability in the balance sheet. Okay. See, as one more outstanding expenses of printing and stationery are there, so I have made one heading, that is outstanding expenses. Okay, and different types of outstanding expenses we will record over here. First, it is outstanding rent. It is rupees 2,000 and unpaid wages are rupees 1,500. That I have recorded under the category of outstanding expenses. Okay, because there are three outstanding expenses, that's why I have given a name to these different kinds of outstanding expenses, because outstanding rent and unpaid wages both are outstanding expenses. Next, then capital of Meera and Madhav we will record to the partners capital account credit side. Okay, because we are going to prepare separate partners capital or current account with this problem. Okay, Meera and Madhav capital are same, rupees 75,000 and 75,000. Capital of Meera and Madhav will record in the partners capital account credit side. Okay, as by balance brought down, rupees 75,000 for Meera and rupees 75,000 for Madhav, by balance brought down. Next, purchase return. Okay, that much amount rupees 1,000 we have to deduct from purchases. Okay, so let's move to the trading account debit side. Purchases were rupees 2,08,500 minus purchase returns rupees 1,000. So the total purchases are, final amount we have taken to the outer column, that is rupees 2,07,500. Okay, now with this we have completed all the recording of all the items given in the trial balance debit side and credit side along with the hidden adjustment. Okay, now let's start to solve the adjustments given, external adjustment given below the trial balance. First, closing stock is valued at rupees 32,000. Two recordings, one at trading account credit side and one at asset. Closing stock. Okay, let's start. Closing stock amounting to rupees, closing stock is amounting to rupees 32,000. Okay, it will go to the outer column, 32,000. Its second recording will come to the balance sheet asset side, current asset. Okay, closing stock rupees 32,000. Okay, next, two recordings of adjustment number 1 we have done. Then let's move to adjustment number 2. Provide provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000. See, as I have already discussed with you, bad debts are not there, so we will not add to the bad debts. We will simply record the provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000 to the profit and loss account debit side. That much of amount we will deduct from sundry debtors. Okay, so let's deduct that much of amount from sundry debtors in the balance sheet asset side. Sundry debtors less provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000. Okay, so we'll make its adjustment in the profit and loss account debit side. Here, to provision for doubtful debts rupees 2,000. It will directly go to the outer column. Okay, because we are not going to add it to the bad debts. Provision for doubtful debts. Okay, so we have recorded this provision for doubtful debts in the profit and loss account debit side rupees 2,000 to the outer column. Okay, now we have to deduct that much of provision for doubtful debts from the debtors in the balance sheet asset side. So For the time being, the remaining debtors are rupees 78,500. Okay. Now, let's move to the adjustment number 3. Create reserve for discount on debtors at 3%. This reserve, as I have already taught you, should be calculated on the remaining amount of debtors. Means after doing all the adjustments on debtors, we have to calculate this additional reserve for discount on debtors, which is at 3%. Okay. So, how it should be calculated? See, how much are the remaining amount of debtors? Rupees 78,500. So, we have to deduct that because we are assuming that one more additional reserve for discount on debtors. So, similarly, we have to less reserve for discount on debtors at 3%. Okay. So, 3% on this remaining value, that is 78,500. How much are 3% on 78,500? Calculate along with me. It becomes 2,355. Okay, 2,355. So, if we deduct this new reserve for discount on debtors from the remaining debtors, the amount of debtors, final amount of debtors is rupees 76,145. Okay, but we have to record this new reserve for discount on debtors on the profit and loss account debit side also. Okay, so profit and loss account debit side, we have to record like this: to reserve for discount on debtors at 3% is equal to rupees 2,355. Okay. Next, value of leasehold premises on 31st March 2019 is rupees 1 lakh. So, how much was the value of leasehold premises on the opening date? It was balance sheet asset side. It was rupees 1,10,000. Okay, and closing value is rupees 1 lakh. It means the value has been declined or decreased. So, how can we write? We can write like this: less return of. Okay, how much is the return of value? Rupees 10,000. Okay, how we calculated 10,000? Because at the start of the financial year the value was rupees 1,10,000, and at the end of the financial year the value of the leasehold premises is rupees 1 lakh. It means value, how much of value of that leasehold premises has been declined by rupees 10,000. So 10,000 has been written off against that leasehold premises. Okay, so this we have to record to the profit and loss account debit side. Okay, profit and loss account debit side, like right, to leasehold premises or property written off. How much of rupees? 10,000. Okay. Then outstanding expenses, printing and stationery, rupees 500. Okay, profit and loss account debit side we have to add to the printing and stationery, and the second adjustment will come to the liability. Okay, printing and stationery. First we will do to the balance sheet liability. Under different outstanding expenses we will record outstanding what? Printing and stationery, rupees 500. Same we will record to the add to the profit and loss account to the printing and stationery. Okay, this printing and stationery earlier value was rupees 1,200. Add outstanding. Okay, outstanding rupees 500. So total amount of printing and stationery due for this current year is rupees 1,700. By adding this 500 to earlier 1,200 which has been paid, and this has not been paid but are due on account of printing and stationery, so the total print amount for printing and stationery for this year is rupees 1700. Okay, with this we have completed all the recording of all the adjustments also. Okay, now let's calculate the gross profit. See, on the you can easily find out that the values in the debit side of the trading account are amounting less, whereas the values on the credit side of trading account are more. So we can easily calculate the gross profit. So the total of this value or amount of rupees on the credit side of trading account is rupees 3,56,000. So we will write the same amount over here, rupees 3,56,000 on the debit side as in total, and we will calculate the gross profit. How to calculate the gross profit? First of all, we have to calculate the total of these amounts, that is rupees 25,000, rupees 2,07,000 and rupees 3,000. Okay, come to 2,35,500. Okay, 2,35,500. Okay, so if we deduct this total 2,35,500 from rupees 3,56,000, we will arrive to the gross profit at rupees 1,20,500. Okay, so the gross profit is rupees 1,20,500. So this gross profit carried down we will bring to the profit and loss account debit side, that is by gross profit and loss account credit side, that is by gross profit brought down rupees 1,20,500. And if we see, there are no any item on the credit side of profit and loss account, so this same amount will come at the total amount, that is 1,20,500. Okay, now let's see how to calculate the net profit. See, if we calculate the total of all these amounts, okay, and of all these amounts, and we deduct these amounts, the total of these amounts from this amount, then we will get the net profit is rupees 96,445. Okay, so the total of these amounts is rupees 24,055, and if we deduct 24,000 from rupees 1,20,500, then we will arrive to the net profit, that is 96,445. So how it should be recorded? To net profit transferred to partners capital account. Okay, we have to transfer to partners capital account. And in which ratio we have to distribute it? See, there is no any ratio of distribution of the profit has been given in the problem. Okay, see, but how can we calculate then? If it is not given, then it should be distributed equally, means 1:1, same profit to both of them, as well as they have brought the capital amount also same, that is 75,000 for Meera and 75,000 for Madhav. Okay, but as it is silent about distribution about the profit, then it should be distributed 1:1. Okay, see how much is the profit? It is 96,445. And if we have to distribute it to the partners Meera and Madhav, okay, if we divide 96,445 by 2, then we will arrive the amount as rupees 48,222 rupees 50 paisa. Okay, but it is difficult to give 50 paisa to both of the partners. Simply we will give one additional rupees to any of the partner. Okay, so how we will give? Distribute it to them. Meera will give 48,222, and that additional her 50 paisa will give to Madhav. Actually, Madhav's share was rupees 48,222 rupees 50 paisa, but we will give him 48,223 rupees. Okay, for 48,223 rupees. So the total net profit is rupees 96,445. Okay. Now, what you are saying? This net profit we are transferring to the partners capital account of respective partners Meera and Madhav. So this is partners capital account, and will transfer it, that is by profit and loss account. Okay, by profit and loss account, net profit it is 48,222 for Mira and 48,223 for Madhav. Okay, so Mira's total is of capital is rupees 1,23,222 and that is of Madhav is 1,23,223 because capital are same, but just 1 rupee, additional 1 rupee has been given to Madhav. Okay, otherwise it would have been same, but the drawings of both of them, the amount of drawings of both of them are different. Okay, so the balance amount will differ. Okay, because Mira had withdrawn 1,500 rupees more than Madhav. Okay, so Mira's capital will be 1,500 rupees lesser than that of Madhav. Okay, so Mira's capital total was rupees 1,23,222. We'll bring same over here, 1,23,222, and we'll deduct her drawings rupees 3,500. So Mira's final amount of capital is rupees 1,19,722 because this is, we are maintaining this partners capital account as per the fluctuating capital method. Why fluctuating capital method? Because their capital balances, their drawings, the other items like profit and loss account, if commission would have been given, if salary would have been given, if interest on capital would have been given, would be recorded here in the same place, in the same account. Okay, that's why the balance of capital goes on fluctuating, it does not remain same. Okay, why we created in the same account, in the partners capital account by fluctuating method? Because separate current account balance was not given. If separate current account balance would have been given, then it would be clearly visible, then we could have clearly understood that they are maintaining fixed their capital by fixed capital method. Okay, and whatever their other entries like their commission, salary, interest on capital, all these would have gone into in their current account. But here current account balance has not been given. It is visible, it is clearly understandable that they are maintaining the capital by partners by fluctuating capital method. So their capital will fluctuate. It was 75,000, but by adding the net profit, it became 1,23,222 and 1,23,223. Okay, and we'll deduct the drawings also from their capital because we are maintaining fluctuating capital method. So the final amount of capital of Mira is rupees 1,19,722 and that of Madhav is rupees 1,21,223. Okay, so we'll carry simply these amounts only to capital account. Okay, so we'll write, this is balance sheet as on 31st March 2020, 31st March 2019, right? 31st March 2019. Okay, partners capital, Mira's capital will write in the inner column rupees 1,19,722 and Madhav's capital rupees 1,21,223. Okay, so the amount of capital of both of them is, total of the capital of both of them is rupees 2,40,945. Okay, as we have taken all the entries, recorded all the entries from the trial balance and the adjustment to all of the accounts which comes under the partners final account, like trading account, profit and loss account, partners capital or current account, and in balance sheet. So simply we will do the total of all the items in the balance sheet. Okay, it is 3,30,445. It must be same, it must match with the amount in the liability side. It is 3,30,445. Very good. It means our problem has been tallied. The amount in the asset side as well as the amount in the liability side of the total amount in the balance sheet has been tallied, which is equal. Very good. Now, after solving the problem, let's see whether our answers matches with the answers given in the book. Let's see. Our gross profit was rupees 1,20,500, and here the gross profit given in the book is same as it is 1,20,500. Our net profit was rupees 96,445, and here it is given same as it is 96,445. Our balance sheet was telling with amount of rupees 3,30,445, and here it is also telling with the amount 3,30,445. Means our problem is exactly telling with the answers given in the book. Let's move to the quiz of the day. Leasehold premises are recorded at where the leasehold premises are recorded. Are those recorded at fixed assets or current assets, or those are recorded at the profit and loss account debit side, profit and loss account, or are recorded at the current liabilities? Very simple and easy quiz for this day. Okay, you have to give the correct answer immediately. What we will see in our next lecture? We will see practical problem number 5, that is of Sucheta and Gayatri, which is given on page number 58. Thank you. Stay